as a record again. We don't know yet, though. They're checking on it. I think the last one was 3.3, but the performance of the nights went to Olenek and Volkanovski. And if I got to tell you what the fight of the night is, you shouldn't be here. Yeah, and then the crypto performance of the nights, they're still tallying the results, but Lene will let you guys know when that comes out. Those guys get $60,000 in Bitcoin.
I guess with Volkanovski, it might have been the performance of the year, much less performance of the night. I mean, what can you say about how good he looked tonight?
Well, I think tonight he came out and made a statement, you know what I mean, that I'm the baddest dude in this division in the world. He made the zombie look like he didn't even belong there. And, fight probably could have been stopped the round before it did, but he couldn't look better than he looked tonight. He looked incredible.
This, of course, was supposed to be a Max Holloway fight before we put in Zombie. He said he thinks that's the fight you guys are probably going to make again. Do you feel like that's the way to lean right now, is to put the fight back together with Holloway?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know. Sitting right here right now, I don't even know. I don't know what's next for him, but we'll see.
Co-main event, obviously a back-and-forth title fight there. A lot of people had scores all over the place. I'm just curious kind of maybe how you had it scored and what you thought of Aljamain's performance tonight.
Yeah, I thought that the judges blew that one. I thought I had it 3-2 the other way. I don't know how you guys scored it, but, I guess it's all in however you score that first round.
Yeah, I had it 3-2 for Aljamain, but that first round was so close. So I guess with that in mind, I mean, you got Peter Yan in there saying, let's just do this again. You got Aljamain saying, I want TJ Dillashaw, who was here all week. I mean, with a fight that close that you think went the other way, do you book it again and do a third fight between them?
I think you do. Listen, that fight's going to be there. Peter Yan is one of the baddest dudes in that division. So, you probably do the TJ fight.
And then I'll ask you lastly about the fight of the night, obviously, with Khamzat Chimaev and Gilbert Burns. I mean, gosh, they lived up to everything and more. I guess just talk about that. I mean, the energy was electric. It was insane. I guess, what did you take out of that fight?
Yeah, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. It's one of the coolest fights I've ever been to. Like you said, the place was so loud and people were going crazy. I mean, that fight was eclipsing the co-main and main event all week. And I was talking to Rogan and Sean and Mick and everybody else. Think about this. When's the last time you saw a guy come out of nowhere, right? Nobody knows who he is, comes out of nowhere, then fights a couple fights and then fights the number 2 ranked guy in the world and wins. When you get into the top 5 in the UFC, no joke, man. And especially in that division. I mean, that division is straight killers. Tonight was a big test for him, and he passed. I mean, think about this too. He's never had that big moment where coming into this week, how many fights this guy got in the UFC? He's got a couple fights. The buzz for him is bigger than the main event and co-main event. Everybody's talking about him. Crowd's going crazy, like we're in his hometown or some shit. And then you come out and you fight a guy like Gilbert Burns, who I'm sure completely felt disrespected going into this fight and wanted to make a point himself. So Teddy Atlas tweeted tonight, which I loved. At the end of the second round, Teddy Atlas said, "We know what Khamzat Chimaev has on the outside when it comes to talent. We're about to find out what he's got on the inside now." And that was going into the third round. Nobody could have said it better.
Well, I was going to say, what's your biggest takeaway, right? Because I see, it seems like there's two paths. Either one, like you said, he just fought a real dude and gutted out a decision win. We found out he's got heart. And then there's other people that are saying, he can't run through everybody. That, he's not as good as we thought he was.
Well, he's human. I mean, any asshole that said that doesn't think the kid's human. He's a human being. And he just beat the number 2 welterweight in the world in the UFC with a couple of fights in the UFC. If you don't think he's the real deal, you're out of your mind. Yeah, he's human, and funny, Till keeps telling me, this guy never gets tired. This guy never, ever runs out of energy. He never. But you can't train in the gym for what happened tonight. You can't. I'm sure this week, leading up to this week, he's had a ton of pressure on him. A lot of anxiety, probably, who knows how well he slept last night. All the things that go into the buzz and energy. And then I'm sure there was a huge adrenaline dump after that first round. So this is shit you can't train for. And you either make it through it or you don't. He made it through with flying colors.
The last thing for me, I'll just ask, I mean, you said coming in, you thought Covington would be the right matchup for him moving forward. Now that you've seen him tonight, do you still feel like that's the right fight to make?
Well, that's the other thing. All these other guys who didn't want to fight him before, I'm sure, are looking at him differently now, too. But that's what happens when you break into the top 5 in the world in any of these weight classes. You are going in against the absolute best in the world. Gilbert Burns is number 2. He almost knocked Usman out, who is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. So, for people that are saying whatever, A, you probably don't know jack shit about fighting, and B, you have to put it all into perspective.
I don't know. If you mentioned that you would like to do Khamzat and Colby on ABC, if you could sort of get them to book on that fight. For people who don't know, how massive could that fight be? Those 2 big names on ABC. What sort of numbers do you think you could pull on that?
I don't know, but it's big. I mean, you saw it tonight. We're in Jacksonville, Florida, with a Russian and a Brazilian headline. Not headliner, but the biggest fight of the night. Everybody's going crazy. So, I think it's a big fight.
Do you think in a way it's almost better for Khamzat to have a fight like this, right? Instead of coming out and just knocking Gilbert out in like 15 seconds, we got to see what he has in him, what his skills are, holes in his game, stuff like that.
I don't think it's better. It's inevitable. Yeah. I mean, nobody rolls through anybody and when you're at this level. It's that you just don't go out, not to say that somebody couldn't catch somebody or, and things like that. Those things happen, but, you heard Gilbert. Gilbert said, I was prepared to die tonight. I wasn't going to come in here and roll over on,
Some of the shots that Khamzat took as well would put out most other welterweights too, right?
100%. He took some big shots tonight. And, he looked good, man. This kid, how many times has he fought? And fought 4 times in what? The last, 4 times in how many years?
2.
2 years? He's fought 4 times in 2 years in the UFC, you know what I mean? And most of them without a crowd. Tonight was his first, I thought that was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen, man. And to be a part of, to be here in the arena. I don't know how it came off on TV, but holy shit. It was awesome in here.
With a performance like that for Volkanovski, right, he showed his grit against Ortega, and then tonight he just showed there were levels at that. Is he making an argument against Usman as being perhaps the pound-for-pound best in the sport at the moment?
He's up there. I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's number 2 right now anyway, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, the 2 best guys in the world, pound for pound.
Outside of tonight, I saw yesterday that Joanna versus Zhang Weili, the rematch has been booked for Singapore. Is there any consideration to putting that 5 rounds, considering the first fight was such an epic, or is it going to be 3 rounds?
That's a good question. You want me to make it 5 rounds?
Could you please?
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
A lot of buzz has also been made of Ian Gary's rise. A lot of people comparing him to Conor McGregor. Even he himself says he welcomes those comparisons. And even Conor gave him a shout out before his fight. What did you make of his performance in there, going 3 rounds after his initial knockout win back in Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, what happened with Conor, did you say?
Conor gave him a shout out. Someone asked him about Ian Gary, and he says, he's looking sharp and this and that. So now even Conor is talking about Ian as kind of this next star from Ireland.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, no, the kid looked good, yeah.
Finally, I don't know if you're aware, but Alexei Oleinik got his 60th professional win. I know you gave him the bonus, but what did you make of his first fight was in '94, I think. Kay Hansen wasn't even alive yet when he made his debut. So what did you make of his? I know you gave him the bonus, but what did you make of his?
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know what else too? This is totally off subject, but I was just thinking about. I'm gonna give Gilbert Burns his win money too.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get his show and win. That fight was ridiculous.
Dana back here. Have you ever seen anything like Khamzat? I've had conversations about this all week. We've had Conor, we saw him rise up, but it was almost like every time Conor won, there was questions about well, what if he fights a wrestler? What if he fights this guy?
Right.
With Khamzat heading into tonight's fight, it was almost like inevitable that people thought he was just going to run through Gilbert. Like, there was not a matter of if he was going to win, it was when he was going to win. Like, have you seen anything like this quickly?
Well, the way that I looked at it is people were tuning in to see if he would run through Gilbert. Because even I was saying, if he runs through him the way he's run through everybody, I mean, it's just, but highly unlikely. It's like when the odds came out, we were like, what? They're fucking crazy if they think those are, what the odds should be against Gilbert Burns. But yeah, I mean, that's the amount of hype that he had. But look at what he's done. Just the punch stats alone were 2-something to 1. And the way that he destroyed guys and how easy he made it look. But I say this all the time, not just talking to you guys, but talking to other people. If you can break into the top 5 in the UFC, in whatever weight class you're in, very, very few people actually do it. Very few people break into the top 5. And to have 4 fights in 2 years, and I don't even know what the highest ranked guy he fought off the top of my head, but to go fight Gilbert Burns, the number 2 welterweight in the world, and win it, it's unheard of.
And then I wanted to ask you about Mike Malott, who made his UFC debut today, and he had a ferocious knockout against Mickey Gall, and then he had a really good post-fight interview where he put a GoFundMe over for his boxing coach, whose 15-year-old daughter is battling cancer, and he said he's going to donate half of his fight purse to support him and her in this battle against cancer. What did you think of Mike's performance and just what he had to say after the fight?
Yeah, no, he looked good. Yeah, no, the kid looked good. He's fun. He's fun to watch. And he can keep his 10 grand, and I'll do his show and his win, and I'll donate it to his coaches. Kid, yeah. So, what's that? Yeah, right?
Dana.
Yeah.
Tonight was the 600th event in UFC history. Obviously, it seems your business is kind of peaking more so than it ever has been. What do you feel like the growth can be from here for the UFC after reaching this milestone of 600 events?
Yeah, well, first of all, I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know that. That's cool. And yeah, we're this thing's on fire right now, man. It's insane. Every event has been a sellout. We're breaking records with the gates, pay-per-views, et cetera, et cetera. It's awesome. I mean, you guys know what I think and what I believe. I believe that this will be the biggest sport in the world. I believe that, now that streaming is becoming a reality, and I think in the next couple of years, maybe 3 to 5 years, there's going to be 3 big players globally, like CBS, NBC, and ABC. When we were growing up, I think there's going to be 3 big global players, and the entire world will be able to watch at the same time, and that was literally mine and Lorenzo's dream early on in the early days. So we're heading there. Then I mean, what's the ceiling? Was there 7, 8 billion people in the world? And the sport works everywhere. I mean, I said it would, and now we know it. And God forbid, we get another Chinese world champion or somebody from here or there. It just continues to grow and get bigger.
And when you look at 2 of the bigger stars or names on your roster, Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier, it seems like they're both itching to fight pretty bad. Do you have any update on the future of those guys? Dustin saying, he's willing to fight anyone. Nate asked for his release recently in a tweet. Where do things stand with those 2?
Yeah, we met with Nate last week. I don't know where we ended up with it, but I just bopped in and said hi, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Do you still like the idea of a fight between those 2, or would you maybe move on to something else with Dustin? Maybe.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Dan.
All right.
Dana, real quick.
Yeah.
Here to your left. Yeah,
hey,
right here.
I keep staring at this guy back there. His mic doesn't work.
A lot of fans were here supporting Korean Zombie. He said at the media day that he knew that this was likely his last title shot. Obviously, 35 years of age. If you could put into words what the Korean Zombie means for the promotion, obviously somebody that headlined many events and put on just fantastic fights.
Yeah, I mean, you heard tonight. I mean, we're in Jacksonville, Florida, and the crowd was chanting Zombie. I mean, he's one of the most beloved fighters in the UFC. He's put on war after war after war for us, and he's one of the nicest human beings in the world, and he's one of the most exciting fighters. I love the kid. So.
And talking about Hamzat, what's his ceiling like on his star power? I mean, he's definitely a unique fighter. Do you put him side to side to the rise of Conor McGregor, to the rise of Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, I mean, he's gone that fast. I mean, the kid. I mean, in Fight Island, remember that day he said, "I want to fight again next week." I said, "Okay, let's do it." And ever since then, man, he's been like a rocket ship. I think he's got 3.5 million followers on Instagram, and you saw what happened tonight.
And now we've seen the UFC sort of.
When have you ever seen somebody with 4 fights, other than Conor and Ronda?
We've seen the UFC starting to go to other cities. Columbus, we saw the London show as well. Now you have the Singapore show booked. What does it feel to be back on the road and be sort of opening up again after sort of the monotony of Las Vegas, Florida, and Texas?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there was a monotony of Florida and Texas. I thank God for Florida and Texas. It wasn't for Florida and Texas. That's why I keep coming back here. I told these guys that I would reciprocate for doing what they did during the pandemic. So, yeah, I'm excited to get back out on the road and start going to these new places. But, yeah, I'm definitely not tired of Florida or Texas.
And last one for me, we saw the featherweight belt on the line. A lot of contenders, obviously, in the division, but a lot of people are wondering what's going on with Zabit Magomedsharipov. Do you know what's going on with him? What's the update? He hasn't fought in a while, and we just haven't.
What's going on with who?
Zabit.
Oh, Zabit? I don't know what's going on with Zabit. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question.
When's the last time you talked to him?
I haven't. I haven't done. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The matchmakers would know what's going on with that. I don't know. I have no idea.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dana, this is the third time you've been to Jacksonville, particularly in Florida. 3 very different circumstances. In 2020 was fanless. Last year was the return back, and this year it seems back to normal. You mentioned specifically about Florida, but Jacksonville. How much of a part of UFC has Jacksonville meant to you in these last 3 years?
Jacksonville means a lot to me. That's why I've come back here as many times as I have. I told them that I would. And, your mayor here has been incredible. The governor came here tonight to the event. He's been incredible. So, yeah, I love this town. I love your politicians. And, yeah, I'd come back here every weekend.
Be back here in 2023, I assume?
Probably. If they call me, I will. All we got to do is call, and I'm here.
Obviously, the pandemic has played its part, but it's been a very long time since Alex Volkanovski has fought back in Australia.
Yep.
Are there plans in place for the UFC to bring an event down there for Alex to headline this year?
No, we won't be there this year. Where are you from?
Australia.
Well, you know what's going on over there, man. Come on. The place is still locked down. I can't risk, trying to bring a show over there, get there, and have it shut down. I mean, I think that just happened to Formula One, didn't it? Didn't that just happen to Formula One?
I think it's still on.
Huh?
Still on. Melbourne.
I don't know. Didn't it get canceled? Like the cars were on the track, and the show got canceled. I don't know. Huh? It's happening? They didn't shut it down? Goes to show you what I know. Yeah, I was hearing yesterday that they shut it down. So I don't know. Hope I answered your question.
Dana, you spoke about reach around the globe, and you have spoken before regarding going to Puerto Rico, opening a performance center there. We had Tisha Torres fighting tonight, very close fight against Dern. We got Miguel Baeza next week. We got Rob Font and Carlos Candelario later this month. So we have the fighters that we can put a show in Puerto Rico. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, Puerto Rico is a place that I would love to go do an event. And yes, a PI too. Yeah, I mean, the answer is yes.
Is there an update on regards on the PI?
Well, we're still looking for a spot in Mexico. We had a spot, then COVID hit, so that whole thing fell apart. Then we had another spot recently, and that deal fell through somehow. And I think we actually have a new site. You know? Did we get a new site? Mexico. Yeah. Soon.
But regarding Puerto Rico, do you have a date to open a PO or start building a PI over there?
I don't even have Mexico yet. That's what I'm saying.
Mexico has to go first.
Yeah, Mexico's first. Yeah.
Dana?
Yep.
Do you still think that Khamzat Chimaev and Colby Covington, it's a good fight for Khamzat as a next fight?
Yeah.
Not
Khamzat's going to be the number 2 guy in the world now.
maybe Bilal Muhammad or another guy.
What's that?
Bilal Muhammad or another guy as an opponent for Khamzat. Yes, Bilal.
Sure. I like it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dana, straight down the middle. Are you targeting any other cities in the U.S. right now to go back to for shows?
To go back where?
Are you targeting any other like U.S. cities for shows?
It's fun. Go 4 times in other U.S. cities. Like,
Ones you haven't returned to since the pandemic.
what's the question? Yeah. Yeah. We're going to go everywhere. I mean, we're pretty much back on the road again.
Yeah, I was asking for specifics. Sorry if that wasn't clear.
Specific states?
Or cities or venues you're looking to go to.
We're talking about possibly Boston, back to New York again. We're talking about, we're looking at some Austin. That's Texas, though. They don't want to hear Texas. They want to hear another state. They're tired of Texas and Florida. Salt Lake City, Utah. That's right. Salt Lake. Seattle, we were looking at. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Toronto.
Any plans for Mexico?
No, we don't have anything lined up for Mexico. You done with me?
When's Toronto?
But what's that?
When's Toronto?
Toronto? Probably if we end up in Toronto, it'll be later in the fall. Yep. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Well, Zach, congratulations. Obviously, not an easy fight tonight, but a fantastic fight. How are you feeling after a performance like that?
Feels good. That's same shit.
Obviously, you've been able to run through everybody. Tonight, you were tested. Were you expecting to have a fight like that tonight?
No, I was too excited to knock him out. You know, I was like, say to everybody all week, gonna knock him out, gonna knock him out. I tried to knock him out. You know, that was wrong for me from the beginning. The guy was tough. I didn't accept that. You know, I would be like that. But from first second to last second, I had to try to finish him. You know, next time I'm gonna work a little bit smarter and yeah, gonna smash somebody.
As far as getting into there tonight, so much attention, so much expectations of you, huge crowd. Did it feel any different than your other fights? Any pressure, nerves, any different feel?
No, I like that shit, you know. I love my face, blood, and sweat, and kick somebody, you know. Punch somebody, make money. I get 50 G's, I'm happy.
What was the biggest surprise from him? Was it his power, his durability, his grappling? What was surprising about him to you?
It wasn't not like something surprise from him, but this was wrong for me. A coach told me all the time, slow down and work more technical. I just want to like take his head off, you know, like always that we do. And next time I'm gonna work for that, you know.
Were you concerned at all with the decision that you may have lost, or were you confident that you had won 2 rounds?
I don't care. You care about that shit? No, I care. I don't care. I get my money. I get my 50 G's. Gonna go home and rest it a bit, meet my mom and eat his food. You know, gonna come back and work hard, kick some ass.
Does tonight change your opinion at all about how difficult it may be to become champion? Like how tough these guys will be at the very top of the division?
I don't care. You think I'm not tough? I show my heart. You know, I'm tougher than everyone. Gonna smash him all. You know.
last thing for me, Dana had mentioned maybe Colby Covington was the right fight for you next. He wasn't sure tonight, but what do you think? Is Colby Covington the right next fight for you?
I don't care. I said everybody. I fight everybody. I don't. This, the guys said, oh, he's number 2 and Hamzat is number 11, and the fight is like, it was like nothing good for Gilbert. Who cares about that shit? Like we everyone fight each other, make money. We fight for our families. I don't care who I fight. If I get money, I get my 50 G's and knock somebody out, I'm happy.
Hamzat, why do you have your purple belt with you? Did you get this tonight?
Yeah, it means a lot for me because my coach, who worked with him like 5 years. In 5 years, I meet a lot of guys. It's just like I fight 3 guys who have black belts. They could do something on. I took him down and he could submit me. He was thinking if he took him down, I'm gonna submit the guy like that things. Yeah, I'm happy I get that belt. It means a lot for me because I worked hard for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I saw you with Darren at the beginning of the fight, sitting on the cage. You look like you were having fun, even though you were in a fight with Darren. How important has he been to your training, not just as a friend, but to your training as a martial artist? How much has he put into you?
The guys, like he's like me. When you have like one more guy like you, like it makes you more comfortable. Like you are like best brother, and behind your back as well. Wherever you go, like he said a lot of things, like good for me. He fought for the title. He's one of the best guy in the world, and I'm happy he's with me.
When you look at your division, do you think Gilbert might be one of the toughest guys for you, and the other guys might not be as tough as Gilbert?
Today, yes. Before, I didn't get that fight. It's my first fight like that. I loved it. I was waiting for that long time. I did 10 fights, 10 finishes, but this fight happened. I bleed and sweat and fight 3 rounds. People was talking about my condition. I did fight 3 rounds. Yeah.
Last thing from me, I saw the cut. How long do you think you'll take a break, or will you try and get a fight as soon as you can? How long do you think you'll relax for?
I don't think. When is that? I don't know. Actually, when it's done, when I come back, I come back. I don't know. We're gonna go back home, Sweden, and get some recovery a little bit, and train harder and do. Like people still talk about that. You train wrong, you do this, that. I'm gonna train more harder than now. I'm more motivation now because I didn't finish that guy. I want to finish everybody, and from first second to last second, I go for the finish. I'm gonna do it always.
Thank you.
Hamzat, you just said you want to finish all the guys. Are you a person who's going to go home and watch this fight over and over and figure out what you did wrong and why you couldn't finish him, or do you already know the mistakes you maybe made tonight?
Yeah, I already know because for me from the beginning I tried to knock him out. My coach said to me, start slowly, work with your jab and feint, but I just go in and just did some crazy shit, and I dropped him, and I get more excited to I'll try to finish him. I need to let him up and knock him out again, And I'm gonna watch one more time. Gonna watch my fight. What's happening there? I don't care actually about this shit. I'm gonna go fight against somebody else. Yeah.
Do you hope? It sounds like if this Colby Covington fight does happen, it would be a main event on ABC. 5 rounds. Is that something you look forward to? I mean, I'm sure you'd like to finish him, but potentially
I look for
doing 5
everybody,
rounds.
of course. If that guy don't call the cops and if Dana White don't go to the jail, I would be happy to the fight. Come to the fight and smash his face.
You think you knock him out?
Of course.
Thank you.
One quick one. A video came out on Twitter. It showed you and Gilbert backstage after your fight. You were going to check on him while he was getting stitches. What did you tell him back there?
I said, everyone, all the guys, in the UFC, people think I don't respect the guys. This is the game. I try to play with his mind and let him make some mistakes. I love that shit. I've been watching all the time, all the UFC shit. I try to learn something from everywhere, and I respect all my opponents. Everyone do it for his family, and I sit before the fight. Actually, it was a little bit hard to fight him because I see his kids, you know, they come to me, hey, you fight my daddy. You know, I say, shit, fuck, I don't need that shit. I don't want to fight with some daddy. I need some killer like me, you know, kill somebody and don't care about some shit, you know. I go to him, I said, I respect, brother, and you do it, you know, sorry for punches, and we do that for our family, and to have fun as well, yeah.
Hamzat, we just had Dana White, and he's comparing your rise to the likes of Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey. When you hear that, what does that mean to you? And do you feel like you're becoming one of the, if not the biggest stars in MMA today?
I don't know, brother. I don't care. I have my money. I'm gonna eat some pizza and drink some Coke, brother. I'm gonna go home. Who care about the funny, like famous, the not famous, that shit? You have your money, brother. You have fun and enjoy for life, brother.
What's the toppings of choice? Toppings on the pizza? What?
Yeah, I don't know, like some chicken and beef and everything. Smash everything.
All right. Congrats.
Hamzat, one question for me. I know in the build-up to the fight, you talked about how important your mother has been to you, and you fight to try to pay her back. Have you had the chance to talk with her tonight? And if so, what did she say to you?
No, because I don't have internet in my phone. I need fucking paying for my internet, you know. I have my Swedish code in my phone. I have to change that. I'm gonna go to the hotel back and connect to the Wi-Fi and call my mom.
Well, you got 50 G's more to go ahead and pay for that now, right?
I get 50 G's always, brother.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Speaking of making money, the Smash Brothers NFT project dropped today. How excited are you for that project?
Beginning, I was thinking, I didn't know what it is, you know, like it's a new thing. The guys come to me, Dyron, they explain to me that this is future, and they show how it works, and, you know, like, I'm not that guy, you know, sitting under like some phone and they make money and they sit someplace and make money. I want to do something, you know, like jump somewhere and I kick somebody, you know, make money. And yeah, he's explained to me like it's good money, it's good future, and it's smart way to make money, you know. I'm excited for that, work for that, yeah. That's good for everybody.
Хамзат, приветствую, с победой. Вот у тебя в первом раунде получилось пробороть Гилберта, но дальше ты, в принципе, по ходу боя особо не старался его перевести на землю. А почему? То есть это ты почувствовал какую-то опасность от него или тренеры поставили?
Не, я опасности не почувствовал. У нас был такой план, чтобы показать ему чуть борьбу, как сильнее в борьбе, и чтобы потом дальше он опасался целый бой, что я буду бороться, там потом легче, чтобы стало побить его. Так, ничего такого там, опасности не представляло.
Ты его уронил джебом. После этого, как думаешь, из-за чего не получилось финишировать? И насколько ты был близок к этому, как ты сам чувствовал?
Я не знаю. Я даже не помню, сколько был близок или не близок. Я помню, я его уронил и хотел финишировать, но потом понял, он махался руками и правильно цель не мог попасть. Я дал, давай лучше стану и дальше буду стойки биться. Да. Вырублю его опять. Так подумал. Так получилось, как получилось.
А что за сцена была с детьми Гилберта? Это перед боем случилось и как она выглядела?
Да, они в отеле были не перед боем, это, по-моему, вчера было это. Я спустился в лобби, там они мимо проходили, они говорят, ты с моим папом дерешься, я такой, чего себе, не хочу там видеть детей перед боем, знаешь, думать про его семью. Я эмоциональный парень, и для меня сложно так детей видеть на боях. Своих детей в жизни не привел бы на бои.
Спасибо, с победой.
Спасибо. Thank you, guys.
Undisputed champion. Congratulations. I guess just, knowing the journey that it was to get from the original fight to here and everything you went through, I mean, what's the emotions like for you right now?
Roller coaster. It's been a long 13 months, and I think I expressed that a lot during the fight week. Truly blessed to be back here. I'm just glad I came out on the right side of that decision. I don't know what the heck that one judge was thinking, but great fight, big night. Got my friends, my family, my teammates, my fiance, my mom, just overwhelmed with emotion, man. This has just been a dream come true, something I envisioned for a very long time since I first set sight on this sport. And baby, we did it. We did it. We did it the way I wanted to do it. And this time remove all doubt, show that that last one was not anything even close to what I'm capable of doing, And for the people who question my skills, who's laughing now? How about those clown emojis now?
I was going to ask you, I mean, you talked about obviously, surgical repair and changing everything. I guess getting in there tonight, I mean, how much different did you feel? Did you perform the way that you thought you would based on, the training camp and everything?
I felt like that was still a lackluster performance on my end, and I just hold myself to a really high standard, and I know I'm capable of a lot more than that. Giving up that fourth round the way I did, and giving up the back control when I had the hooks in and kind of just jumped the gun. A little sloppy. That should have been a 4-round sweep. And Jan is a tough dude. He made some adjustments. He capitalized on my mistakes where I made them. And that's really what it is. This is a game of inches. We're at the top of the sport. Like, anyone could be anybody on any given day. And for the odds makers to have me that big of an underdog, you made Long Island very, 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 very rich, so thank you for that one. I never had a doubt in myself, and I think people could see how I came into this octagon tonight, that I was feeling myself and ready to go, and the old Funk Master is back, and next time I'm going to get a finish, man, because I really thought I was going to get him out of there.
You say next time, I was going to ask. I mean, Dana was here earlier, and he said, we don't need to do it right away. It'll be there at some point. But do you feel like it's inevitable that you face Jan again at some point?
100%. If he wants to go 0-3 against me, we could do that.
The last thing for me, it did seem like Dana said the Dillashaw fight was the one that made the most sense. I guess, why is that the one that intrigues you the most? And, how soon do you want to do it? Do you feel like you need to make up for lost time? Do you want to take some time away to enjoy yourself? What do you think?
13 long months. I think I earned a little bit of a break, Starting a training camp, stopping a training camp. Kind of want to pursue my acting career a little bit further. 50 Cent, if you're out there, Power Universe, put me in. I would like a long-term role, maybe Power Book 2. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take off like 3-4 weeks, kind of just take a vacation with the lady when she finishes up her final semester in nursing school. We deserve a little bit of a break. She's been working really, really hard, and proud of her. So this has been a big month. We haven't really got a chance to hang out with each other because she's been focused, I've been dialed in, and here we are. First is me, she's up next. And then we got a couple other guys on the horizon. They're going to be in the Contender Series soon, and we got a lot of good guys coming out of this gym, and you guys have yet to see the best out of the Cerro Longo fight team. So I'm excited, and of course you got the machine, the Marab,
Aljamain, right here. Is it personal at all with you and TJ? I mean, he's being one of your bigger critics since the first fight with Piotr.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Can you elaborate a little bit?
No, I'm just saying, oh, yeah, he's been a big critic.
Yeah.
The guy's just been nonstop talking about me, talking about my heart and this, that, the spirit of a fighter. I mean, the spirit of a fighter is someone who's never going to give up, if you ask me. And I think I showed that this time. I think I showed that even in my worst night, which was my first performance against Jan. And that was a shell of myself, and he couldn't get me out of here that night, and he wasn't going to get me out of here this night either, So I think I showed what I'm capable of and where my mental fortitude is, where it's at. You're going to need a lot more than that to break me and make me quit in there. So I don't know if that's what he's thinking. I don't know. If anyone's mentally weak, it's that guy. The guy needed steroids and EPO to catapult his career to even win as many fights as he's did in the UFC. So his whole UFC tenure is tainted. So I can't wait to punch him in the face. That would be somebody I would enjoy punching. He's got good skill, but the guy's a cheat. He's dirty, and I'd like an opportunity to slap him up and we can figure out who's number one again.
Do you have extra confidence about that style matchup now? I think you could make an argument that, you know, he has some similarities to Piotr.
I think so. He wants to stand and trade the whole time, and I think anyone realizes, like, I can stand up and strike, but I don't need to. It's kind of a silly game to do that the whole time if I have an expertise and I'm so much better in another area over my opponents, you know? So it's like, if I can exploit that, why not? If I can level change and have you respecting a takedown instead of just trading punches with you, I'm going to do that. So it's an interesting fight. I think it'll be a fun fight. The fans are going to have a good time watching that one. And I think he's a little small for the weight. And I think I get on his back like that. I think that guy gets out of there. You know what I mean? So I dropped those shots on TJ's little head. I got a little head too. I dropped those shots on TJ's little head though. I don't think he's taking it the way Jan did tonight in that second round. You know, I really thought I was going to get a finish. So I do that to TJ. I think I get a finish and stop that fight.
And last thing from me, I'm just curious how you felt about tonight after you get your hand raised. This is obviously one of the greatest moments of your life, and the crowd is just booing the hell out of you. What's that like? What kind of emotions do you have in that moment?
I take it all in. It is what it is. People are going to hate you for whatever reasons that don't make sense, and it's fine. I get it. You're entitled to your own opinion. But my resume speaks for itself. I didn't get any handouts to get to this position in my career. I fought the best guys when they were the best guys in the weight. I've been in the top 5 and top 10 since my 3rd UFC fight. And I think that speaks volumes on my tenacity and being able to persevere through my ups and downs. There's a lot more ass out there to whip, you know. There's Cruz, there's Aldo, there's TJ. People can say whatever they want, boo me, cheer me. I'm going to turn that around and use that as energy to give me momentum in the fight, and that's the best way I can look at it. Life is going to give you adversity anytime. Your career, work, relationships, it's what you do with it and how you spin that to make it work for you. You can sit there, tuck your tail, and cry about it. Oh, they don't like me. I don't give a shit. I'm still going to get up. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do me. And I'm continuing to live my life the way I want to live my life.
I was around the front right here. Henry Cejudo also tweeted that he was getting back in the testing pool today after the... Is that a fight you would want to, if he drops to 135 again?
I would love that. I think Henry's a tough competitor. He's a gamer. When the tough gets going, the same thing. He has that grit. He'll bite down on his mouthpiece and he'll throw some leather. And I feel like that would be the toughest matchup for me because he's actually a really good wrestler. So we would have to figure it out on the feet, and I think my length would be a problem for him because I'd be able to spam those front kicks right up the middle all night. You know, but if the Muppet want to come back and Triple C wants to get demoted to Double C, then we could do that, you know. So Henry Cejudo, get back in that pool and we could talk.
Aljamain over here. It's been a very fun build throughout this week, and you asked people the question, and you asked the fans and those who doubted you, what are you going to do when I'm sitting up at that table with the title? What do you say to those people now? Those people who doubted you? You said a lot in the octagon, but I'm curious what you have to say to them now.
I got to find all the comments and troll them back and just start being super petty. And if I have the time for it, you know, I got receipts, man. People wrote me off for one bad performance. And again, one bad performance doesn't define you for the rest of your life. And just like anything else in life, it shouldn't define you for the rest of your life, you know. So I love this sport because it teaches you so much about life. This is literally you versus you going out there, improving, becoming the best version of yourself, and taking things that come and, you know, either it's going to be a good night or it's going to be a bad night in the office. And fortunately for me, tonight was a good night. We put the work in, and the critics, they can sit there behind and be their thumb pushers as much as they want. I know some people are still going to be doubting me and talking shit. It is what it is. You said I didn't earn the belt. You said I was a fake champ. Now what are you going to say? Belt's right here. And for people, please don't call me champ. Just call me Aljo. I'm a blue-collar guy. That's all I want to be known as, Aljo. I don't need to have people say, oh, champ, champ, champ. You know, last thing I want to do is get my head big, and that's not who I am, you know. So Aljo, Aljamain, and or the Funk Master.
Yeah, because a lot of people on social media have been saying if there's anybody who deserves to go on a victory tour and a victory lap and say everything he's got to say to everybody, it's you. But you're a pretty humble guy, Aljo. I know, like, there's a part of you that just wants to go out and just blast everybody, but there's probably a part of you as well that wants to just get right back into the gym and get ready for the next fight. So how do you sort of balance that out?
Well, I had a long 13 months, and I'm going to take at least 4 weeks off and just hang out, enjoy life, be a normal, everyday pedestrian, and just kick my feet up and relax, hang out with the friends, coach a little bit with the team and stuff like that, travel a little bit. You know, COVID took a lot of that away from us, so things are finally starting to get back to normal the way they should have been. And I'm just happy to be in this position where it's a little bit sweeter to go on vacation with a win as opposed to a loss. And that's really it. You know, I'm a troll myself, you know. I like to have a little fun. People think, oh, they're getting under my skin. Dude, you're not getting under shit. This is what we do in Long Island. We break each other's balls, we talk shit, and we just have a good time. That's just how we are, you know. And you got to have thick skin to hang out with our crew, you know. So there's going to be some people that I got receipts for that I need to rub it in their faces, so I'll do that.
And then last thing for me, you mentioned how Long Island is richer today because you were the big underdog. You were surprised that you were the big underdog. Are you a little bit richer because you believed in yourself? Did you believe in yourself from a piggy bank perspective?
I can't say that. I can't say that. I'm richer because, you know, I finally got some pay-per-view points. I do think all fighters that fight on a pay-per-view should get pay-per-view points, though. That's just my personal opinion because we all make up the card, you know. But I'm glad Piotr got pay-per-view points as well as the interim champion, and I think that's fair. You know, he's a big name. This was a highly anticipated fight, and people tuned in a lot for this, you know. So I'm just glad I got paid on that front, and just going to keep adding to the checks and take care of my mom, take care of my family, and that's really it.
It seems you like being the heel in this situation. Do you almost prefer it than being sort of the baby face and having the crowd behind you?
Yes and no, because being the heel, you got to really work. You got to, like, actually put time in. You got to be like Kobe. You got to be like Sayudo. It's a little bit of work, and I don't have the energy to do that all the time. I like just being me. I want to have fun when I want to have fun. I want to be serious when I want to be serious. So just let me just do my thing, and if you like me, you like me. If you don't, there's other flavors for you to go mingle with that, you know, fighters that you might like and that type of thing. So I ain't never going to change. I'm going to be the same guy with or without the belt. So my real friends and family, as long as they know that about me, that's all that matters, because everything else is just noise.
Yeah. And the fight was fun to watch, but something else that was a lot of fun to keep an eye on was the corner work. The great quotes, they were just hyping you up. I mean, go stare at him. Ray Longo was yelling at you. Can you talk about how important that was in between rounds? Because, I mean, we saw how it, like, you know, brought up your energy and it really made a difference in the fight.
No, it was big, and I do think I fought relatively sloppy in that fourth and fifth round, which is the ones that he clearly won. But, you know, having these guys, being able to hear them in the corner, and just having guys that you trust, it means a lot, because these guys have been in the trenches with me, you know, and that's the most important. And there's no value you could place on that. And at the end of the day, this is my team, this is my squad, these are going to be my people. And the corner, it is what it is, you know. I'm relatively adaptable with anyone in terms of, like, cornerman type of thing, but to have people that you trust and you're very familiar with, it's always going to be a much better thing to have.
Yeah, and last question. First title defense is officially in the books. What goals do you have as a champion? Is there any specific cities where you'd like to headline, or any specific names that you'd like to get in the division? Any specific goals that you have now as champion?
UFC Jamaica would be amazing to have. Now people can't say, oh, you're a fake Jamaican champ. No, first generation Jamaican champion. Let's do it, Dana. You got Leon Edwards. You got a bunch of other young brothers out there too. Ode Osborne. There's a couple other guys I'm forgetting. Randy Brown, a few others. I think we could make a really, really amazing fight card. Uriah Hall. So I think just expanding markets, you know. I think this is going to be a much more notable win for Jamaica to to really start to realize like, hey, we got something here. We're a very, very talented country. We're a small place. We're looking but with Talawa, you know. So it would be a nice, cool thing to have. But outside of that, I don't know. I haven't really given that any thought. I just wanna hang out, have a few drinks, and chill with the family.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Aljo, you look to be in your best form as far as your performance goes tonight. Regardless of what fans or critics may say after the layoff and all things combined going into it, how much of a sense of personal fulfillment and vindication do you have?
For me, this was everything. And again, win or lose, I was going to take a vacation, just decompress. This sport can take a lot out of you, especially when it's all you're thinking about, all you're doing. But to go out with the win makes it that much sweeter. And for everyone saying all the stuff that they're saying, for me, it just rolls off my back. It's just motivation at the end of the day. You can say whatever you want behind your keyboards, talk your shit. I'm the one out here actually chasing a dream. And I think anyone who's got that type of ambition would never, ever hate or throw dirt on anybody's name because they understand what it takes to get to even just challenging for a world title. That's not easy to do. You know, how many people get into the sport? How many people get cut from the UFC after 2 fights? You know, I've been with this company for a very, very long time, and I earned my keep. And I think that speaks for itself. So you don't got to like me, but you got to respect me.
The man in the arena concept, right?
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I look pretty tonight.
I'm not sure we've ever had walk-in music for a post-fight press conference. That's revolutionizing the game there.
That's it.
Well, Alex, I mean, clearly one of your greatest performances ever. I mean, dominant from start to finish. So I'm just curious, and I'm sure the emotions are good right now, but what is your feeling about your performance tonight?
Yeah, man, it was good. You know, I said that's what I was going to do. You know, I'm showing everyone. I told you all week that I'm going to show them on another level. I'm raising the bar each time, and you've seen that. You know what I mean? You've seen that. You know, a lot of these guys can't touch me, so I don't think anyone's ever done that to Zombie. Not like that. So it just shows you that I am on another level, and again, next time I get in there, I'm going to be better again.
He did show a little bit of a spark in the third round after you dominated the first 2. Did it surprise you that he came out gunning like that in the third?
I can't really remember. Got to watch back. You know what I mean? I don't think I felt like he maybe come forward more. He was looking for the shots, but again, you got to remember, I'm a calculated fighter. It might have looked like he had me on the back foot, but that was because I know he was eager, he was desperate. So I'm going to let him do his thing. Again, he's dangerous. I'm going to give him that respect. I'm calculated. I listen to the corner. They wanted me to keep my range and pick your shots. And I thought I could have followed through earlier, but they were telling me, nah, wait. And as soon as they told me to pour it on, it was like later in the third, I started doing that, and we almost got it. And then obviously in the fourth, when you was up, they said, follow up, get the finish, and we did. So I listened to the corner. That's it. We're levels ahead. And you've seen it. You know, not only my game's on levels ahead, but the team behind me that we have. Look at the work we're doing. You know what I mean? You know, no one's ever done that to Zombie, and you know, made him miss that much. And man, he's fucking tough. I'll give him that. But I mean, yeah, I'm stoked. I've got to watch it back. I obviously haven't seen it, but we've got the bonus, so that's cool.
Not your place to stop it by any stretch, but did you think it should have been stopped before he came out for the fourth?
I wanted it stopped. I wanted it stopped after the third. Almost started feeling bad, but again, you know, we keep saying that every interview. I go, this is a fucking game. You can't feel bad, but you know, that's just, I guess that's my nature, right? But that's why I said, I think in the fourth, like we start, I go, you right, bro? Like, you want to keep doing this, man? Like, I don't want to keep doing this to you, but because obviously the boys are telling me we're pouring it on, and I was like, please just stop before I do this. But I had to do it. So the ref, I think Herb knew. He was looking for, as soon as he eats a couple, I'm going to stop it. And that's exactly what he did. So I'm glad he did it because I want him going home healthy to his family.
I know you said coming into this, you feel like the UFC will probably look to book Holloway again. Is that the fight that you most want, or are there other things that appeal to you?
I mean, it just depends, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Again, as we talked about all week, I was saying, that's a fight that I wanted purely to for the haters and all that type of stuff. But I mean, I didn't even know the case. Like that fight was scheduled, but I don't know if it really was scheduled. I don't know it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if he actually wanted it. So we're going to sit back, talk to the team. Obviously, I want the biggest fights. And, he showed that's probably going to be the biggest fight. So we'll talk to the team. We'll see if he wants it. We'll see if we want it, if the team wants it, if the UFC want it. And then we'll make that decision. Again, I'm going to make the right decision for the right reasons. You know what I mean? I'm in a position where, I can do a couple of things. And if this division don't want to sort itself out and they're all going to sit back and just fucking wait for shit, and then fine, I'll move up and fight lightweight. Again, I'm an easy chimp to understand. Take that number one spot, you get that shot. If not, let's move up. I think we're in a good position to maybe move up, see what happens in this lightweight division title fight, and maybe move up. Because again, I'm showing them levels ahead in this division. Maybe we move up.
Have you given a lot of thought to that? I mean, do you know how your game would perform at 155? Would you want to pack a lot of weight on and stay there, or go back and forth?
Nah, man, I don't think I need to. I'm pretty strong for the featherweight division. I'm strong for a lightweight division too. Most of my training partners are lightweights and welterweights and things like that anyway. So, I fought at middleweight. People forget. We talk about pound for pound. You've got to remember, I'm undefeated middleweight. My only loss is at welterweight. I'm undefeated in every other division. You know what I mean? So look what I'm doing to some of these guys, and I fought in all different weights. We talk about pound for pound. You know what I mean? It's there. I'm showing you what I can do. So, and again, I'm owning that crown, man. Honestly. So from now on, Bald Volk, as I said last fucking time I talked to you guys, Bald Volk's coming for fucking everyone. So lightweight division, watch out.
I guess last thing for me, I mean, you said coming in you want this to be a very busy year, 3 more fights. So when do you think you'd want? I mean, how quick you need to turn this around? Do you want some time off, or are you like, let's get something booked ASAP?
Let's get something booked. But again, it's got to be the right fight as well. I don't want to just fight. The only reason why this fight happened, again, I want number one contenders. I've made that clear time and time again. But there was a fight scheduled. It didn't happen, so we've got a replacement. But I mean, I'm not just going to give guys that aren't earning that number one spot just a shot for the sake of it. I'll talk to my team. I'll see what they want to do. Again, I'm in a position where I'm going to be clever. I'm the type of guy that I always like. Just, you know what I mean? Give me a fucking heavyweight. Like, always the hardest fight. That's the type of guy I am. Give me a heavyweight. Whatever it fucking is, give it to me. But I'll talk to the team, see what they want. And again, make the right decision for the right reasons. If we think this fight's going to be the biggest draw, biggest money, it's a fight to make, then we'll make it happen. And if that is Holloway, it'll be Holloway. If that is the next guy, that if we get contenders fight and they take that number one spot, you know what I mean, then it'll be them. Or if it's a lightweight, the team says that, UFC's happy with that, we do that. Again, make the decision for the right reasons.
Alex, down here. You mentioned that you try and get into every fight a little bit better than the last one. I'm curious, after a performance like that, how high do you see your ceiling? How much better can you get from where you are today?
I'm just going to keep getting better, man. I can't tell you where that ends. But I guarantee you I'm going to keep improving. Next time you see me, I guarantee you I'm going to be a level ahead. Again, I keep raising the bar. That's what I expect. I know I'm levels ahead of these guys, but, the best always want to improve themselves. They don't want to be better than the other guys. They, you know what I mean? That's not good enough. Just being better than the other guys isn't good enough. I want to be better than I was last month. You know what I mean? Last week. Each week, I've got that drive to be better. And I can be better in so many places. Mixed martial arts. Hardest sport in the world. So many things that come under, you know what I mean? There's everything. Wrestling, grappling, striking, and, cardio, you name it. Mental side of things, everything. You know what I mean? You can be better. So I'm going to keep doing that. Keep raising the bar. And when I stop raising that bar, that's when we start looking at, all right, what do we do from here?
You mentioned about pound for pound. I was curious. I've actually asked Dana about it as well when he was in here. Do you think it's between you and Usman, or do you think actually that you are the top and people maybe need to recognize that?
That ain't up to me. I'm not going to sit there and say that stuff. Obviously, he's done great things, but again, just remember, I'm fighting guys in different divisions. I'm undefeated in middleweight. I'm a fucking featherweight, and I'm small featherweight. I look smaller than all these guys, and I'm undefeated in middleweight. You know what I mean? I've obviously had that one loss in welterweight. I've had plenty of wins in welterweight, undefeated lightweight, undefeated, featherweight. And look what I'm doing to the UFC. I'm 11-0 in UFC. Look at the guys I fought too. I'm fighting legends of this sport. Legends of this sport. So, man, it's saying something. But I'll leave that up to everyone. That's not, I'm not going to toot my own horn and say I deserve this, I deserve that. You know what I mean? There's great fighters in the UFC, but I'll leave that up to everyone else. But, that respect's going to be coming, I guarantee you. But if not, who gives a fuck? I'm over trying to please everyone. That ain't me anymore. I'm happy with my family, my friends and all that. That's all that I care about. If people want to jump on the bandwagon, the train, well, come on. I love yous too and whatever. But, I ain't going to try and impress people that don't want to be impressed. So, fuck them.
I feel like this happens every time you fight, but Henry Cejudo has tweeted that he's going to be getting back in the pool, presumably for a fight with you. Any interest? I know you just said that you want the biggest fights. He does have a name value. He is a former champion.
He does have a name value. Well, again, there's options. Again, if this division don't want to sort themselves out, you're going to get that's shit you might see. I've always said I don't want to do it. But if these guys are going to sit back and expecting a title shot given to them while they're waiting, not taking that number one spot, fuck them. Fine, I will fight other guys. I never used to be like that, but now I'm like, nah, that's not how shit should be. If you remember what I was doing when I was chasing that title fight, I was doing everything I could, fighting the toughest guys in their hometowns and doing shit that no one would do just so no one could take that number one spot from me. No one's fucking doing that. And that, that sort of pisses me off. So if they don't deserve it, fine, I'll give it to people that probably still don't deserve it. But at the same time, if you miss out, that's on fucking you, not me. You know what I mean? I ain't going to feel bad. I don't care what people say. People go, oh, they don't deserve it. Neither does everyone fucking else. So get over it.
Alex, right here.
Yep.
You mentioned it, 11-0 in the UFC. I think you're only the fourth or fifth fighter to do that mark, and the big kind of shiny record is that 16-0 start Anderson Silva had, which is the longest one. Is that something you've ever thought about? How far you can push this, and do you think you can ultimately break that record?
It's not something I'm looking at. I didn't even know that record, I'll be honest. But yeah, 100%. I feel like I'm having 3 fights this year. I want another 2 fights this year. So in 2 years, I can definitely do that. And again, I'm not sitting there going, I'm going to take all their statuses and all that. But that's what I do want. I'm pretty confident it's going to happen because I believe in my team and my abilities and, again, my drive to be better. You know what I mean? It's I don't think anyone has a drive and that mentality that I have. You look at the greats in any sport of the world, they're doing whatever they can do to be better. Not be better than the person in front of them, not be better than the other guy, just doing enough. That's not good enough. Be better. You can do that in anything in life. Be better everywhere. And I believe that I'm a good example of that.
And when Dana was here earlier, he got asked about a potential fight in Australia this year, and he more or less ruled it out. But he did say Toronto could be on the schedule, and that's kind of a second home to Max Holloway. Would you be willing to fight him there, or do you feel like if you're going to do this third fight, it needs to be...
He ruled out Australia?
Yeah, he said it's probably not going to happen this year.
We'll talk about that. I don't know. I wouldn't. Obviously, I want to defend my belt in Australia. Obviously, we things are getting good back home. I think they could get over the line. I've fought that many times on everyone else's. Again, like I love fighting here, but at the same time, let me defend my belt in Australia. I think I deserve that. And we've got title fights. We've got big fights, boxing fights, everything happening in Australia. Why can't the UFC be there? You know what I mean? Let's. Dana, I know Dana's. He's a clever man. He wants to take over everywhere. There's big boxing events and that over there. He wants to take it. We can go there and let's try and make it bigger. You know what I mean? Like I know what he's like. So maybe we'll have a talk and we'll see what we can do. But I definitely want something in Australia. I think I deserve it, and I think it'll be benefit him 100% because we'll sell out a stadium over there, no doubt.
Yeah. So no interest in kind of doing it in Max's territory to a degree, right?
It's I have troubles getting into Canada, so I'll leave it at that.
I'm Canadian. Maybe I can help you out. Talk.
Hey?
I said I'm Canadian. Maybe I can help you out. We'll talk after.
Okay. All right.
Alex over here. Right back here.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
How do you grade a performance like that? Because I know when I talk to fighters, you guys are the most critical, self-critical people that you would ever speak with. So is this an A? Is this an A+? Because this was, I'm sure you could find some holes, some mistakes perhaps, but this is about as perfect as of a title defense as you'll see.
Well, yeah, you're right. We are our hardest critic. I am. My team is as well. So we'll go. I haven't watched back the tape, so I don't know. I felt very comfortable in there, but I don't think I got hit much, but I still got hit. So I'm not happy with that.
And you talked about the way you came up, how you just, whatever the UFC wanted, you slowly made your way up the ladder. But along the way, not only you still have that humbleness to you, your drive, your hard work, but you got a little swag to you now. It's pretty clear. You got a little bit of swagger to you.
You like that?
Can you tell me where that stems from? Like when that kind of turned for you? Like you always had confidence, but I feel like there's just that little bit of...
I just want to be myself, you know what I mean? Like I was the type of guy, like just speak my mind. I'll think that, again, I was so worried about what people thought. You know, I'll sit there and like I'll have a chat and then like, again, if I'm the fucking champ, like what can I say that? I'll feel bad for saying that. I'll feel like going, oh yeah, stop tooting your own horn, you know what I mean? Like, no, own your crown that you're fucking, you got the crown, fucking own it. You know what I mean? That's just me. I'm just being me. Mate, I guarantee you, any of you guys, you see me outside of the octagon or whatever, like I'm going to be one of the friendliest guys you ever meet, and I'm proud of that. But at the same time, I'm a cool dude, I'm a fun dude, and I'm just going to be myself. And that's all you're seeing. You're just seeing me be myself and not being sort of sheltered where I was so worried, you know what I mean? I wanted to please everyone. I'm a people pleaser. But I mean, again, the people that are going to not like me, they're just looking for shit to hate on. They're just going to be haters. So like, why should I try and please them? You know, why should I hold back on being me to please people that are going to hate me no matter what anyway? So now I'm just like, fuck it, fuck them, you know what I mean? Like, again, they'll jump on board, you know, I haven't done nothing wrong. If they get offended by something I say, they're really reaching. They're really looking for something to be offended about, because I'm not that type of guy.
It's always great to be the best you've ever been when you get into the octagon and get on this run that you're on. But would you say this is like the freest that you've been, kind of building on top of the last question?
100%. Man, I don't really care what I say right now. Where before I'd be so worried, what if I say the wrong thing? Look, if I say the wrong thing to you guys and someone gets offended, all right, I'll get it better next time, spew 'em, whatever, move on. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at right now. Where before I'd be like, I'll do my head in because I said something. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, I just got the freedom. Inside and outside the octagon, you've seen it. You've seen it all week. You've seen it now. Again, I'm just going to be me, and again, people are going to jump on board. They're already jumping on board, and now I'm going for them GOAT status, pound-for-pound statuses, all of them, and I think everyone can see that now, you know what I mean? So again, I'm not the type to toot my own horn, but, you know, the proof is fucking there. You just look, and you'll see it.
Volk, you gave credit to your team and your training partners. How important is it to you for the long-term and the sustained success that you've had to have elite world-class specialists like Craig Jones in your corner?
Man, it's just the whole team we have, man, even from training partners to head coaches, to wrestling coaches, to grappling coaches. We just cover all areas. Strength and conditioning coaches back home, physios, you name it, all of it. You know, again, I want to be better. I have that drive to be better everywhere. This is mixed martial arts. You can be better everywhere. Yeah, I'm blended and I do it all. I put it together, not better than anyone. I truly do believe that. That's what I say. When you go there, you're going to see greatness. You're going to see one of the best mixed martial artists you've ever seen out there. And I'm showing that. One of the greatest athletes you ever see. You know, not many people work as hard as I do. And again, I ain't no athletically gifted person, but you have that drive to be better. This is the shit you can accomplish.
Thank you, champ.
Thank you.
Just two quick ones, Alex.
Yep.
Here. Your speed looked quite improved in this one. I mean, you looked very, very fast. You also looked slimmer. I'm wondering, if is that the case? Did you slim down for this fight?
I didn't try and slim down. The weight was all the same. I try to make sure I didn't eat as much. You know, I don't like being heavy. There's been times where I ate real heavy and I was a lot heavier than I'd like to be, where now last night I remember seeing the scale. I was like, I'm not happy with that. So I even sweated a little bit last night. I wanted to, you know, get some of that water off because I want to be light in there. You know, I feel best at, 74 kilograms. So, yeah, man, I don't know if I look fast, mate. Again, that's just the shit we're doing in the gym. You know, the strength and the conditioning, the training we're doing. Again, we're going to be better. Next time you're going to see me faster. Next time you're going to see me stronger. Next time you're going to see me capitalize on more shit. You know what I mean? That's my goal. Be better every single time.
And you had mentioned pre-fight how you wanted to fight Korean Zombie because he's a legend, you respected him, and you wanted that name on your resume.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed pretty bummed, obviously, with the result. Even mentioned that he maybe even retire. He'll have to think about it. What does Korean Zombie mean to you, being a fan of his and what he's done in the division? Obviously, a legend. And any words on him?
Look, man, I've got a lot of respect for the guy. That's why he got the shot. He's done great things in this sport. He's a legend of this sport. That's why he got this shot. He's still at the top of his game. You know what I mean? That's why he got it. And, you know, he has said some things before. He has been like, you know, all these social media. It's probably his management and shit like that. I know he's not like that, though. We all know what he's like. He apologized for it. That's the type of guy he is. He's a very respectful, he's a good dude. So, again, even though they had said some shit, that's why we didn't have no bad blood, because I know that wasn't really him. He's a cool dude, and that's why I want him to go home healthy to his family. I don't want him to take this too much to the heart, because, again, I'm levels ahead of a lot of these guys. He can go out there and still be right at the top, but just not when you're standing in front of me.
One quick one. I don't know if you were aware, but tonight they were doing the fan bonus with Bitcoin. You actually got one of them. You got the $20,000 in Bitcoin.
Oh, for more money?
From fan voting. So
fuck, that's what Mrs. That she already wants a Cartier Blade bracelet because I got the bonus. So that means I got it? So I get $20,000 on top of that as well? Oh, yeah, cool. In Bitcoin. All right. Sweet. I'll take it.
Alex, real quick, we just were informed that The Rock sent you a cheat meal and is talking about you on Instagram right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, he's a man. Yeah, he done the rock toast. He sent us a rock toast, a whole box of it. You know, I shared the video. Yeah, go have a look. I actually did a little. He shared mine. I tagged him. Yeah, I wanted a collab. I invited him. He did. Yeah, what a legend. See, so I was hoping that would happen. He waited till I won, see? He's like, just in case you lose, I'll wait. You gotta do your fucking business, then you can, you earn that fucking share. So I appreciate it, The Rock. Now, honestly, that was really, really good. I told you, man, the bald men are taking over this fucking world.